Yo, good evening, everybody. Has everyone had a wonderful, happy Ralph Ragnick day? Not Ralph Ragnick, is it? Erik Ten Hag. Fucking hell, should we start again? Hi. Yeah, do you know what? My mind gets absolutely frazzled when I spend 4 hours on a fucking train on a Monday, and I have to get up at fucking 6 a.m. to do it as well. Happy Erik Ten Hag day, everybody. Should we start with that, shall we? What's happening? What has everyone been up to? Let me know in the comments. Let's get some conversation going, and we'll dive into it. So I've called it Ten Hag versus the Leakers, and obviously condemns the lack of unity at United, and there's all sorts come out. All sorts come out today, and it was as if people was like, "Is the season finished? Is it finished now? Is it finished now? Is it finished now?" And right, let's fucking get on the phone to my agent and let's go start fucking bumping your gums. It's embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing. Hang on one second. Let me read this comment. C. Jones says, been an exciting day, Steve. Start my new job tomorrow. Creating a football team for Forces veterans with Foundation 92. Get in touch. Let's have a chat. I'm assuming that's with G. Nev's Foundation, yeah? Samuel says, great show on Vibe today. Unblock me on Twitter. Well, you're probably not. I'm going to be honest. Cheers for the super chat, though. Everyone who's blocked on Twitter has fucking earned that. So it basically today was just like, let everyone pile into getting... I mean, Mark Ogden has had the bereaving of all bereavings, hasn't he, today? Mark Ogden. Apparently Ronaldo made it clear to United he ain't staying around if Ragnick was given a managerial job. That's not good, is it? That's quite sad. And then apparently a senior Man United player complained. This one does my fucking nutting, right? Apparently a senior United player's agent complained that Ronaldo had been given a lot more prominence in promotional campaigns. Oh, really? The guy with more Ballon d'Ors than you've got fucking fingers and toes was fucking doing... He's at the front of United's campaigns, is he really? Is he really? I think in the first fucking 10 days or something like that, we counted something like 200 tweets about him from United. I don't know if you noticed this, it's Cristiano Ronaldo. If he's in your fucking team, you might do a tweet or two about him. Fuck me. Simon Carr says, hey, what's up, Big Steve? Been a day of eating Greg's. It's never a bad day if you've been to Greg's, I reckon. Pearson says, driving home from work to talk to a recruiter about a life-changing job offer, feeling hopeful about a lot of things today. That's good. That's what we want to hear. Don't want to hear people going, do you know what? Fuck this shit. Oh, yeah, there you go. Nice one. So, yeah, apparently Salford City are trying to create a veterans community. All right, well, yeah, get in touch. I'm with G-Nev tomorrow. A bit of a one for you there. So maybe if I get the chance, I'll ask him. What's a go on in with that? Apparently Cavani was pissed off at not getting the number 7 shirt and being told to fight for his place with United with Ronaldo, and he didn't believe that it got dark outside at 3 p.m. in winter. They're getting dark at 3 p.m. Honestly, I can empathise with that because it's fucking shit. It's proper fucking shit. The being pissed off at getting the number 7 shirt given to Ronaldo, I get that, but please refer to my answer on the previous one, which was, it's fucking Ronaldo, mate, and he did break the curse. So I can always be thankful for Cavani for breaking the Michael Owen curse on that number 7 shirt and allowing Ronaldo to come back to the shirt. All the first team players has to go, according to Lieben. Yes. Any Patreon content, any summer Patreon content. Yes, we have got 2 patrons coming up for the June edition of The Rundown on the 18th of June, I think. So that's going to be an interesting one to look forward to. I I imagine probably both are in the comments. There's Alex. He's in the comments today, and Notch. I don't know if I've seen Notch in the comments just yet. Simon says, all right, Steve, stayed offline until the start of your live, so these rumours are blowing my mind. Same here, to be honest. James says, Steve, did I ever come to Aldershot during your time in the forces? Only once. I actually had, I played rugby for the army, rugby league for the army, not the other one. And that game was at Aldershot, at the stadium. So the other ones, apparently, senior figures attempted to persuade Marcus Rashford to sideline his off-field commitments to focus on regaining his form, but instead he chose to combine both. Again, not sure how much those on-field commitments really made an impact, and has he really been doing any in the last 12 months? Not too sure about that one. Will Collins says, I know it's off topic. Do you have to be 18 plus to do the paddock ownership? No, I've actually had a couple of questions about that. We weren't going to separate it in any kind of way whatsoever. And then Notch is in the comments as well. Yeah, so both of the Patreons that are going to be on the show are currently in the comments. So there you go. We're probably going to put it. We might do a different rate for juniors, but that's going to be something that we put to our owners to vote on. And when we find out the information on that one. Alex says, yes, the next run down, 18th of June, going to be mint. It's going to be mint. I'm not going to get as drunk as I did last time because I think I had about 2 pints of rum and I was absolutely blaskey-booed. Embarrassingly so, if I say so myself. And I haven't been that drunk in a minute. I'm not getting that drunk next month. It's our awards night this weekend as well, and I'm not getting that drunk this weekend either. Fuck that shit. And apparently, so more from me, this is just the Ogden down. Might as well call this the Ogden report today. A lot of upset when it was reported some of the MUFC squad weren't happy, but that was the situation. There was suspicion many of the leaks were coming from the dressing room were from 3 specific camps, with one in particular being identified as a persistent problem. To my knowledge, Dean Henderson was one of those. I don't know who the others are. People seem to want to say Jesse Lingard was because he spoke to Paul Scholes. But honestly, players are talking to ex-players constantly, especially academy players. So, and it's not necessarily leaking from that. The others, I don't know. I don't know who the 3 camps are, to be honest. And you can guess, I'm sure, but I don't know who it was. Reese says, I get married on the 18th of June. I'm going to be smooshed on rum. Do you know what, mate? I bet you don't. It's very difficult on your wedding day to get drunk. I'm sure you'll drink enough, but you're not going to get drunk, or you'll try and drink enough. But the problem is, especially when it's your wedding, if it's someone else's wedding, you get to be fucking knobhead nephew in the corner and just sit there and drink and have a laugh. I got absolutely smash-ettoed at my sister's wedding in Mallorca. It was really good. Loads of family had gone over there for a couple of weeks. It was great. It was the best wedding, outside of ours, obviously. But I really enjoyed it because you get to go hang out with everyone. And because we'd been there for like 2 weeks with everyone, the wedding was right at the end of it, we was all happy days in terms of like, you don't need to have these bullshit small talk conversations with people because you've been here with 2 weeks with everyone, so you can just have a good time now. And that's when you can get some like professional level drinking done. When it's your wedding, mate, you're going to be introduced to like fucking relatives on your wife's side that you've never even fucking met, and they're going to want to small talk and tell you how beautiful her dress was, and you're going to have to sit there and nod and smile and all the rest of it while your beer's getting fucking roasted in your hand, and you ain't going to be able to drink. You'll definitely have a bev. And you sure as shit ain't going to be driving anywhere. But you will struggle to get drunk because there's just so much to do and so many people to talk to. And that's just the top and bottom of it. It's going to be hard work for you to do. What was the rest of them? So this is one I like. So there's a source that said Richard Arnold is very different to Ed Woodward. We never saw Ed, but Richard will eat in the canteen with the staff at Old Trafford. And there's a real mood now that the guy in charge has an idea of what he wants to do and how he will execute it. If that's not saying, fucking woo, I didn't have a pot of glue, then I don't know what is. There's some super chats I've missed, so let's get into these mixes with them. So Mikey says, did it not get dark early in France where he played? I guess it didn't. I mean, it was in Paris, wasn't it? Which is, I guess it's a lot further south, but it's Northern Europe, isn't it? Or semi-Northern Europe, I suppose. Dean Carter says, thoughts on Moussa Diaby. Doing a scout report, so stay tuned on that one. Andy says, Steve, what's a reasonable target next season? Finishing higher than we did this season. I think you can still aim for fourth. Whether or not you get it, I think fourth is where you got to be looking at, I think. Ben says, we have to bring back Thursday Club. Ben's just recently started a new business of his own, and he's going absolutely turbo with it, and he's doing really well. But running a small business is extremely time consuming. And I managed to speak to him before for about 45 minutes or so. But he don't really have a lot of time to just come and hang out and shoot the shit. He's actually in on this Thursday, but Ben kind of does the accounts for my business because I'm shit at that stuff. So we have a meeting with our accountant, of which Ben's part of that meeting, but we're not going to be doing a podcast on that day. Eddie says, thanks for the content. That's a big super chat. Thank you, brother. Thanks for the content. Looking forward to Ten Hag and paddock ownership. Positive days ahead. Actually spoke to Rio about the paddock ownership things today. He's interested in the mixer as well. Spoke to a journalist a little bit about it as well, so you might be seeing it in some of the national press. But it was cool. And I think we're finalising everything. We've just got to make sure that all of the mechanisms for the membership and the database and everything works. That's the thing that I'm worried about at the moment. Is John Terry bigger than Rio? I think he's about an inch shorter. Jack says, I'm a hospice nurse taking care of dying patients all day. Feels like the club has been dying a slow death for years. Thank God for Ten Hag for bringing this club back to life. Mate, I don't know how you do your job. Honestly, I'd be in absolute tatters at the end of every single day with doing something like that. Hats off to you. That's mega. And I guess someone needs to do it as well because being in a hospice, that's end of life stuff, isn't it? Fucking hell, mate. That's rough going, that is. Phil Shares says, Ten Hag spent all day going around all the different departments of Old Trafford today, greeting the staff. Surprised my wife in the office. Awesome. I think this is the one. He is like a real... I think he's a character. I don't think he's quite like a big personality. But I think he's a real character. And I think... that's what United need, a strong character. I think that's what I'm trying to say. So we should see. Jamie says, so many people involved around players. The leaks could be from anyone. Agents, wives, chefs, security guard, executive vice chairman. Yeah, and when you look at how many transfer ones have been getting leaked lately, since we've changed the executive vice chairman, I'm just saying, there's fucking hardly any. And it's annoying in a bit of a way. But I guess it's good at the end of the day. Tony says, Steve, you've often said that Maguire is only good in a counter-attacking team. Why shouldn't we play counter-attacking? Might have helped Rashford. Flip side is De Gea looking good with no countering. To be honest, the reason why is it doesn't suit everybody. And it's a perfectly justified technique and tactic. And we got some great results doing it. But there was a demand for United to start dominating football matches. And to dominate football matches, it does require a different skill set. And you can't necessarily play counter-attacking football against Norwich or Burnley because they're going to let you have the ball. So you do have to have other tools in your shed. And we didn't. And that's what really let us come unstuck a little bit, was that we was over-reliant on one thing. And I agree, I thought Marcus looked sensational playing counter-attacking. It suited certain players in the team. But it's one of them, innit? Like, from what Ten Hag has said, he's going to be everything we saw at Ajax is the football he's going to bring to Old Trafford. And also, I fucking love it. Jed says United were a deadly counter-attacking team under Fergie. Yep, we were. We absolutely were. But we would probably have that 5 or 6 times a season. The remaining games, we would be a very dominant possession-based football team. The counter-attacking thing was something we allowed teams like in Europe. We would just let them have the ball, and we would be happy to sit in 2 banks of 4 and try and play off the counter and be strong defensively first. It's not a bad thing to have, but you do also need to know, you do also need to know what you're capable of doing when you get the ball, and you do need to also be able to be capable of, having a little bit of possession and dominating with the ball that way. Seth says Fergie used to work on that, but he also used to work on really pushing for goals with the ball. Yeah, Fergie did. Fergie did a lot of stuff which is really cool, and some stuff which I've just blatantly ripped off that I'm using with Paddock as well, and that's a little bit of scenario and situational training, where you say, right, you are 5 minutes to go, 1-0 down. How are we going to do this? Is it the overlap tomorrow with Gary Neville? Yes, it is. Mohammed says, I said Ten Hag should axe Maguire, but he spoke highly of him today. What do I think of that? Well, was he critical of anybody individually as players? And there's your answer. He's not going to walk into a club, not met the guy, hammer him, try and sell him by criticising him in the media on his opening press conference because you've just wiped 30 million off your budget. But if you come in and say, yeah, do you know what? He can do X, Y, and Z, and then you try and sell him on the back end of that, if that's what you want to do, then that's different, isn't it? Sahil says, big fan, keep up the good work. Love from India. Thank you, Arkid. Jason says, more leaked news have come out today. Do we have a clue about who is leaking them? I don't. Is McCullough on the overlap with me? Yes, he is. Looking forward to Laird and Garner. I think that you're going to see the backbone of the team being the likes of Laird, Garner. But when I say the backbone, I mean basically these lads are just going to be the backbone of the squad, not necessarily the starting 11, but you're going to see a lot of these lads brought in and just given an opportunity. I think it's going to be interesting. Stuart says, do I reckon Ten Hag will try and implement the Ajax style or switch it up to suit the current players? I think he'll try and implement his style. Have I seen the Laurie article? I mean, which one? Laurie's on a fucking roll at the moment, isn't he? And I can't keep up with him. Were we ever in for Kamara, says Andrew? I don't think we were, sadly. And half of the players that I've scouted this summer, we did them on the back of these. We thought these players were good players, not the fact that United were in for them. We're obviously going to do on scout reports on players that we get genuinely linked to, like we've just been recently linked with Pau Torres, talk about his agent coming in. Going to try and do that this week or next week. So, it's a busy old time when a transfer season hits, trying to watch players and do a bit of a report on that on them. Yanni says, Ten Hag spoke about joining because of our potential. Can I see a few players who would go out on loan given a chance? Yeah, and there's probably going to be double figures players leave. I actually spoke to a first team player yesterday after the game. Most of that conversation will remain private. It was a player I thought was going, and he's waiting to speak to the manager to find out whether he stays or not. This isn't someone that's leaking anything, spoke about anything newsworthy, really, just personal stuff. But I thought he was going. He's not going anymore. He doesn't want to go. Someone said obviously matter. It's not obviously matter because it's not matter. Julio says, do I remember drunk LVG at the awards in 2015? Do that for Paddock Awards night. I'll fucking slap my assistant manager. That'll go down well. Do I think we should have signed Camavinga last summer? I do. I think the same with I got loads of shit for saying Sal Niguez and he was a flop at Chelsea. Yeah, sure, but like Chelsea have literally got 7 or 8 midfielders that start for United, including Sal Niguez. He would have started for us. He would have been one of our best midfielders. He still would be one of our best midfielders. That's how low the bar is at Manchester United's midfield. Matthew says you should look into Ten Hag's time at Utrecht. Really got them out of the shitter. Manager and a technical director at the same time. This is what there's something in his character and there's a bit of steel about him that I'm feeling. Where will Paddock play next season? We should be back at Droylsden. Oh, we are back at Droylsden. There's an agreement to be back at Droylsden. I'm haven't heard about what's going on with the safety certificate, whether it's been awarded yet, but I know it's been applied for, and it should pass. So it's just a case of getting it passed before August when the season starts. Hank says, realistically, I don't think we had a chance to get Camavinga. Perhaps. Matchday volunteers needed, absolutely. Yep, and I saw your email actually as well, James, about coming on Friday. If anyone wants to come on Friday, there are about half a dozen spots available for any viewers. So if you want to come, first come, first serve, first emails that land in the inbox. hello@stratfordpaddockfc.com. If you're in Manchester area and you want to come to the awards on Friday, there's a couple of spots. So come on down. Aaron says, is Spence going Spurs? I think we should get him and Johnson. I spoke about Max Aarons earlier. As a potential sort of person that we could go in for. If you're not going to get Jed Spence. Max and Jed Spence are probably a similar level, really. And they're both like certainly players way before their peak. Both got good qualities. Some people are going to look down on Max Aarons because he's just been relegated, and that's fine. If you look into... if you look into where those players would be if they joined United, they'd both start for us. They're both better than Delo and Wan-Bissaka by a long way. Are they better than Laird? Only on the fact that they played more games than him. I think the ceiling of Ethan Laird is wherever he wants it to be, in all honesty, but he's not currently playing enough games to be where he is. James says, let me know when you need a ref. Used to be North West Counties, but I'll come down. All right, yeah, cool. Please get in touch because we actually do need a ref for some pre-season games. So yeah, I wouldn't mind having a ref that we can just call on for some pre-season games. Abhinav says, how many people in the chat are realistically scouts for other clubs? Come on, speak up. Fabio says, Steve, do I really think Bay will stay? It wasn't Bay that I was talking to. I think Bay probably goes, in all honesty. Steve, are the loan rules changed from next season? Could I please explain it? Yes, they have. Off the top of my head, no, I can't. I will look into it, though, and I might even do a video on it if people think there's enough in there. It might just literally be a sentence. Scott says, I hope it wasn't Pogba that I spoke to. It was not Pogba. Steve, did I see the awful aggregate score table doing the rounds on Twitter? Honestly, there has been so much. Like, it's so scouse, isn't it, that you constantly see this with Liverpool, the alternative league tables. If long shots didn't count, if teams who took the lead first only counted, if matches ended at 85th minutes. Listen, stop trying to change the fucking goalposts. You've won one league in 30 fucking years. You're going on like you've got the greatest rivalry with Manchester City. It's the greatest rivalry in the history of the Premier League. Haven't we finished second as much as they have in the last 5 years or something? Fuck me. They're embarrassing. Honestly. It's like saying Blackburn and United was the greatest rivalry of the 90s. It's absolute fucking bullshit. It's just not fucking true, is it? Let's be real. And Jamie just messaged us in my inbox. Thank you. I'll get in touch when we need it. Favourite United shirt? The black one from 95 or the red one from the season after. Mark Rowland says, which Spanish team is Jamie Vardy signed for when his snitch wife leaves the UK from embarrassment? Oof. Honestly, I haven't been following the Wagga Christie trial, and I kind of wish that I was, because it's been more interesting than watching United as for the last few weeks. Jed says, Liverpool went on a great run, let's be honest. A few months ago, City had the league wrapped up. If anything, City were lucky not to blow it. This is true, right? This is true. However, they've still only won one fucking title, so relax. James says, Paddock release date for what? Paddock release date for what? For the new shirt? June sometime, I don't know. I haven't got them from Puma yet. For the membership, 1st of June. Realistically, who can you get out of the club? Who can I get out of the club? Realistically, fucking nobody. Have I seen all the LUHG ones on Twitter already hounding out Ten Hag? What are they doing? Fuck's sake. Mr. B says, was I a paratrooper? No, I wasn't. But that's what I'm looking to try and get back into. Or get into. Trying to join 4-para. But, it's one of those. We'll see how it goes. Connor Showich says, Mark Ogden is waffling. He always makes up stories. I don't know if you can say that, mate. Have you got any evidence for that? I think you have to throw in at least one allegedly for that. What do I think of the kits for next season? Well, I did actually go and look, didn't I, last time we did a live, and I was having a gander at that fucking Illuminous yellow one. I can't be too harsh on it because Paddock's goalkeeper kits next season's Illuminous yellow, but keeper kits are allowed to be a bit fucking weird, aren't they? It's not my cup of tea, to be honest. I'm not really a big fan of the new shirt. It's a little bit, I don't know. Has everyone just decided we're having collars again next season? Connor says, do I have any more information on the young player and experienced player who were rowing at Carrington? I said at the time, didn't I? Someone said it was Tellez and Hannibal. Someone else said it was Lingard and Maguire. And somebody else told me there wasn't even a fight. So I was like, my thing was, I don't know it happened. I don't know that it happened. Miguel says, join the stream a little late. All these reports coming out of the club are embarrassing / hilarious. I want the names of these players. You'll probably get them names, I imagine. Give it a couple of weeks. I think some of these fucking player names will actually get released, I imagine. They're fucking shit, aren't they? They're absolutely shit. Just fucking turn up, work hard, have a shower, and fuck off home. What you doing? Who gives a fuck if Cristiano Ronaldo's in more promotional material from the club than you? Why do you fucking care? Put the ball in the back of the net as much as he has and then complain about it. Fuck me. And who's calling Randy Expects? Honestly, which 4-year-old mentality is that? Have some fucking professionalism, for fuck's sake. Honestly, pathetic. Do I think Rashi will go? No, I don't. Mark says, Steve, do I have a good idea on who was leaking stories throughout the season? I believe one of them was Dean Henderson. Outside of that, I don't know. Hostad says, third kit is allowed to be wacky, better than the grey Trinity shirt from the Lukaku days. Oh, God, yeah. We've obviously got 3 kits with Paddock next season. The first team are the only side that'll be wearing the green and gold as a third kit. But I've got a white and black number for the 21s and the reserves and the devs. So we're technically a 4-kit club next season. I've not even properly announced. I've not even properly announced who our sponsors are for next season. And I've been having conversations for the past week about 23-24 season sponsorship. Honestly, I can't fucking believe who's interested in sponsoring us, to the point where if that sponsorship comes off, and if it does, I'll tell you, age remember what I was talking about over on a fucking stream years ago. If this sponsorship comes off, Paddock's got 1 million fans. Like that. And I mean 1 million. Like, I can't fucking believe what's potentially on the cards. It's bonkers. Jed says, need to get sharp. Oh, we tried to get sharp. We tried to get sharp to the point where it was like, can we just put it on our kits with your permission? We don't want any money for it. And we just got blanked. We never even got a reply. Speaking of getting blanked, right, chat, I want you to say in the comments below, who did Steve get blanked by today? Because I got blanked by someone in football today, walking through the train station. Saw me, said hello to this individual and said their name. They looked at me, blanked the fuck out of me and kept it moving. Let's see if you can get in the chat who you think it was. Someone says Ashley Young. It was not Ashley Young. It wasn't Rio either. It wasn't Rene, Jesse. No one that's played for United, put it that way. Wasn't anybody that's played for United. Ironically, Evra. Evra, I think Evra would cuddle me, in honesty, with how giddy he is. It wasn't Micah Richards. That would have been fun. I'd have chased him. It wasn't Jamie Carragher. I think I'll be seeing him tomorrow. It wasn't Liam Gallagher. Well, to be fair, no, he did not play for United, but it wasn't him. I'm going to just see if somebody gets it here. Did I see TalkSport saying Ten Hag has no personality? Is that TalkSport trying to rile up United fans again? Imagine my fucking shock. Was it John Terry? No, it wasn't John Terry. Was it ex-player in London? They were an ex-player. More known for being a manager than a player, though. Dirty Rack says, play the youth next season. They're hungry and they're cheap. 10, 20 million pound signings. Let's rebuild with youth. Was it Laurie Whitwell? George Graham. No, it wasn't George Graham or Mourinho. I don't think anyone's got it yet. People are circling it nice. Ray Wilkinson. Ray Wilkinson passed away. Oh, it's Wilkins, sorry. Wilkinson. Who's Ray Wilkinson? Potter, Pep, Steve Bruce. Someone's got it! Mark Seaborn. It was Sam Allardyce. Dan Halliday's also got it as well. Sam Allardyce. Glenn Bignell's got it as well. Sam Allardyce. Big Sam walked right past me. I was like, Sam, how you doing? Looked at me, just fucking kept it moving. Didn't even say hi. Just fucking sling it and keep it moving. Okay. Yeah, absolutely fucking 100% made eye contact and then just fucking basically just was like, fuck off, and just fucking kept it moving. Does he know me by face? I fucking doubt it. Big Sam's fucking big. He's a fucking big dude, man, I know. Yeah, it was Big Sam. He couldn't find a fuck to give. No, I assume he doesn't have a fucking pot of glue, I am, in all honesty, but, best England ratio, yeah, facts. Best international manager of all time, I think. Samuel says, wasn't Sam Allardyce in the comments earlier having about a Greg's? Listen, Sam Allardyce actually gets a bad rep. I'm a bit gutted because I'm not going to say annoyed. I'm just gutted because Big Sam gets a bad rep because he does look like the kind of guy that'd eat a bag of crisps on the shitter. But he was a genuinely innovative manager, an absolute fucking revolutionary. And people don't want to really fucking admit that. Probably, right, ready for this? Bold statement alert. Big Sam was probably more revolutionary when it comes to sports science than Arsene Wenger in the Premier League, but no one's ready for that conversation because he looks like a pub landlord and doesn't wear fucking little specs. But what he did with Bolton, where the fuck are Bolton now? In League 1, League 2, who gives a fuck? He had them playing in Europe. He had JJ Okocha doing a fucking absolute madness. Yeah, we're having that. People having that. Big Sam, more influential in English football than Arsene Wenger. Are we agreeing with that one or what? Arsenal fans in the comments in a minute. Fucking fuming. Jurgen says, speaking of Cavani, daylight issue, he should move to the north of Sweden where the sun never really rises in the winter, 3 to 4 hours daylight. Yeah, fuck that, mate. David Ayres says, tell Joel that. Right, I'm going to put this statement in the group chat now and I'm going to see what the reply is, right? So how should we word this? So I'm going to put Joel. Big Sam, more influential than Wenger in the Prem, more innovative in sports science. Discuss, yeah? Is that what we're going to say? Discuss. Let's see that. Let's see if he fucking chirps into that one. Screenshot his response. I will put his response on screen when he comes back to it. Notch says Allardyce left Bolton with them in the Premier League. Wasn't hounded out of his club like Wenger was. Oh, headshot. Josh says Big Sam would have done a better job than Ragnick, 100%. Yeah, probably. Amo says Joel ain't a fucking Arsenal fan. Geezer's been to more United games. Here we go. Oh! Someone's replied. I'm just going to put... Someone's just replied, and I've just asked if he minds if I share his response here. I'm sure you can guess who, but like, we'll see if he lets me share this response. Someone that wasn't Joel. Yes, I mean, think about who might be in our group chat. Edu says 100% Joel tells you to relax, and he's on the rum. Darren Walter says Wenger never retained a title. Amateur. Connor says, wonder how many players would stay if Erik told them they were getting their wages halved. Ooh. I mean, to be fair, no matter where you go, if someone said we're going to fucking halve your wages, it's not going to be a good one, is it? It's not going to be a fucking good one. Sam says, imagine being in a group chat with Rio. Fucking hell, do you not just ring him at 2 a.m.? You don't last very long in group chats with him, do you, if you do that? Fucking hell. Ian says, how's the calf after yesterday? To be fair, and Anthony Jarvis was on the same thinking at evening. Sorry, late to the stream. How's the leg? Obviously, same thinking from these guys. I expected it to be in fucking shit state, to be honest. So yesterday, the live that I did after the game, I was in fucking tatters, and I was sitting at the side of the watch along, just struggling. I was having to walk, sort of like doing the edge of my foot to stop the pain, because having a flat foot was fucking murder coming right through my calf. But by the time I'd finished the live that we did upstairs, I was actually moving all right. I think whatever swelling was in there must have gone down a little bit, and I was all right walking. But I still thought, I'm going to be fucking sore today. Like, getting to London, getting on the tube, all that sort of stuff. There's a fair bit of walking involved. You're still probably like not far off a 10,000 step day, just fucking getting the tube and the train and that, and then walking to the studio in London. And it was a bit stiff, but that was it. Little bit of sore, sort of like arch of my foot, but outside of that, nah, fine. Yeah, fine. Thoughts on a Ten Hag song? I think, liquidate the fucking club, if that's what we're going to sing. No one's someone's replied, but not the person that we wanted to. Someone just replied in there saying, true, Pulis 2, long throws introduced before his time. Or long throws intro was before his time. Percentages. Anthony says, I got a wrecked foot from a sports injury, so another feeling. Keep plugging away. Might need you back in the forces when it kicks off. It does actually fucking look like it's about to kick off, honestly, doesn't it? I assume that's Ronaldo that's just logged in as me, saying, can we get to 500 likes? But yeah, it sounds like a good idea, so hit the like button. Do I play Footy Manager 22? I haven't played Footy Manager in over a year, just not had the time. I'd fucking love to play it, to be honest. There's a guy that makes like Footy Manager leagues, does all the research and stuff like that, and he did all the way down to Paddock's level, and I did want to have a go at seeing, what can we do? Can we blast forward? Because of the reputations of some of the players that we actually had last season, I think Paddock were a bit of a fucking piss take in the league that we were in. But yeah. One day, maybe we'll be on there properly. Who knows? Ryan says, if I could pick 5 regular starting 11 players to be replaced, who would it be? And someone just said, Green and Gold do a documentary on whether it's a myth or not. I'm going to write that down. I haven't got a pen. Someone remind me with that. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. That because there's a lot of talk. I've got a book up here. I think might be in the office. That it might not be entirely accurate. Joel has replied, "Get out of here," is what he says. Did I see the Michael Knight and stuff? Yeah, I say me and Jay. Jay was talking to him last week about coming on. He's going to be coming on Paddock soon, I think. Is Mbappe the new manager of PSG? It's a weird one, isn't it? I don't think he's good enough to be given the sort of everything that he's just got at PSG, in all honesty. He's a very good player, but I don't know. I don't like the precedent that this kind of sets. Will says, got told season tickets are sold out. Any chance they will become available in a few weeks if I contact the ticket office? Yeah, there'll be people that haven't paid or fucked up or have cancelled after they've committed. And, I think even though everyone, I don't know if you have to pay for them now. Like, I'm a 38-year-old child because my fucking dad does mine. He's just done it for that long. He just does them. So, like, my fucking dad deals with everything to do with mine, so I have no fucking clue. I don't get the emails about them. I don't have fucking nothing to do about all that lot. Steve, when am I putting up the medals and tags? Big blank canvas is calling. You mean this one here behind us? I need to enter a few more things, don't I? I've entered Paris 10 in September. I think me and the wife are going to be entering, potentially with a couple of others. I think Alex Baggers is one. Might be wrong on that one, but there's a couple of people, at least I know from Paddock, that are thinking of coming and joining the Northwest Tough Mudder. If we can get a Patreon team together, I think we could fucking do that, and we could, do a little bit of training montages and shit. If everyone's interested in doing that. But yeah, I think let's get a few more medals before we start putting up a single. Listen, it's like the Scouts, isn't it? We're not putting one fucking medal up. We're going to start fucking talking when we've got a fucking load of medals to put up, aren't we? You know what I'm saying? Thoughts on Andreas Pereira? There's never been a better player in pre-season. When is Tough Mudder? Tough Mudder is, I believe, fucking 4th of September, I think. Burhan says, hope Galbraith gets a chance in pre-season. Verratti-like, relax, but I know what he's saying. Levitt's vision's just godly. Can he play? If he was in the City team, he'd probably get a chance because of the way they dominate the ball, the way they do. I'd love to see him make it at United. I'm just not sure he's gonna. There's a player in there, whether or not. Listen, I think they'll all get a chance. I think Garner, Galbraith, I think they'll all be given an opportunity on pre-season. It's just whether or not they can actually take that pre-season. Do I think people's thoughts on Pogba would have changed if he had a top defensive midfielder next to him at United and no Raiola? No Raiola, maybe. The defensive midfielder alongside him, how many fucking players did we buy to unlock him? No. South Wales for pre-season? Probably not. We're probably going to do a trip to London and then probably play a load of local ones and hopefully have a couple at the stadium, and we'll see. Thoughts on the recent Pogba video? Thanks for the recent Pogba video. The sadness and disappointment in delivery of palpable reflect how many of us feel. No anger, just regrettable from start to finish. I can't lie to you all and say I wasn't excited. Like, I literally fucking cuddled the man the night he signed, within minutes of him signing. And he was genuinely excited to be back in Manchester. And I really think, he came into it with the right frame of mind and the right reasons. But for whatever reason, it didn't work out. And the last 3 years, he's played half of the fucking available games. And you can't tell us that's a fucking good return on our investment. And then you add in the fucking Raiola circus on top of that. And Raiola's probably done more to shape everyone's opinion of Paul Pogba than Paul Pogba did. Yeah. Abdi says the Premier League isn't for Pogba, and that might be true as well. Thoughts on Uncle Paddy's interview about Pogba? Obviously, I love Paddy. I think he is a little bit blinded with. I think he's a little bit blinded with Pogba being mates with him. I think it comes across. But yeah. Have I seen Ibra's speech about winning Serie A? I have not. I will go and check it out though. CLO1 says, hi Howson, moving to Manchester as I've just gotten a job there. Congratulations. Is there anywhere I can rent for around £1,000? That's all right. Love the content. Are you on your own? Have you got a missus? Have you got a kid? Manchester, there's plenty of flats. I mean, plenty of flats around the city centre. Get yourself in a flat in the city centre and then figure it out from there. Yeah. Do I have any dogs? Yes, I do. And I think the door's open. Hang on, I've just had a text off Will. What does he want? Aren't you on oldie? Get a fucking grip. Oh, he's literally just saying thumbnails have been great. Loser. Like, let's try and shout the dog and see if he comes. But I can't shout too loud because the Bambino's asleep. Where do I rate Gary Neville in the Premier League right backs? Without thinking, just completely fucking reactionary top 5. Diesel. Diesel. I think the gate might be locked downstairs. He's not going to get up here. No, he's just barking. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Hey, come here. There he is. Oh. He's not interested in sitting on my knee. What's happening with coaching staff? Any new additions? Yeah, I think there'll be several new additions in all honesty. Do I see Cancelo made the most passes in the league this year? Yep. Doesn't surprise me. He's been fantastic. Ian says, Diesel, is it a staffy? That's mad. My mate in Mank has a brown staffy called Diesel. Yep. Black staffy called Diesel. Very original, I know. Mustafa says, what's my thoughts on Ogden and his reporting to United? To me comes across as anti. I don't think so, you know. I actually think there's probably a lot of truth in what he said, if not the whole truth. Vinay there with a super chat says, how young do you reckon a player needs to be in order to adjust to a new system? Thinking about Garner, Hannibal, everybody else under Ten Hag. I think any player is capable of... I think any player is capable of learning a new system, but it seems to be the ones that haven't had as much tactical information shoved down them from 10 other managers seem to get it a little bit easier. Alex says, love dogs. Seen Janine put pics on Instagram. Yep. How much was that dog per litre? Well played. Do you know what? My sister's got a sausage dog. It costs like fucking 1,800 quid or something. And my mate Rick has got, I think they got them from the same place, like the same kind of price. And them little fuckers are constantly at the vets. Diesel, 60 quid dog. That's what you call it. Proper fucking council estate, £60 fucking dog. Little bastard is bulletproof. And it's a good job because he will not go to the vets. James says, is the trip to London to finally play SE Dons? We're supposed to be playing them at home. So I don't know whether they shit out again or not. Joe says, enjoy the content. Heard you say my tinnitus. I'm a coach and a hypnotist that works with athletes and veterans here in LA, around the world, specialise in helping tinnitus. Gonna email you. All right, cool, yeah, I'll check that one out, yeah. Notch says, Alex, there's a video of Diesel swimming in a swimming bath on Steve's channel somewhere. Yeah, there is. There's a vlog on there where we took him swimming. That's with Hannah as well, actually, who you'll have seen from the rundown. That's literally her job, is swimming dogs all day long. TalkSport are all over Ten Hag for showing lack of charisma in his first interview. I thought there was a lot of charisma there. I thought there was a lot of fucking strength in the way he was talking. Abhinav says, how's Rio's back? Well, after we finished today's podcast, he stood up and went, my back's fucked. So I assume probably not. Connor says, is Timber and De Jong getting signed? I think those would be two sensational signings. Can we get Laurie on Paddock to discuss his latest article? Shall we text Laurie while we're here? In fact, there's no point, is there? Because I'm not even on. I'm hardly in this week. I've got a busy all week. We got the overlap tomorrow with me and Macca are doing. I'm off on Wednesday. Thursday, I've got accountant meeting. Sorry, very boring. And then Friday, I'm back in at Huddersfield Hospital for a pre-op. So, busy week this week. Serious question. Do I think taking painkillers regularly affects their backs after retirement? Yeah, I'm not 100% sure what Rio's is. In fact, I'm not even sure Rio knows what Rio's is. I think he's all right with it. Sometimes, obviously, if you fucking follow him on Instagram, you know that he's absolutely fucking massive at the moment, and he's doing a lot of weight training. But, was it Christmas? Was it just before Christmas? Oh, it's Halloween, wasn't it? Because he was literally dressed up at Halloween. And he was in a fucking wheelchair. Couldn't stand up. Any plans for the summer? Unfortunately not, no. I'd love to go away with the girls. We do need to sort Blake's passport out. I'll give you an example of this, right? Janine might have nailed this earlier before. Blake recently started nursery. And we were a little bit worried about it because she's a pure COVID baby. Like, she only ever mingled with her cousin, my nephew. She'd never really socialised with any other kids apart from another cousin, Janine's niece. But that was it, really, in terms of like any sort of socialising with other kids. So a little bit apprehensive. But I guess every other kid was kind of the same at her age because born in, essentially, just prior to lockdown. Never really mingled and played out with other kids. And she's just obviously learning to draw. She's 3, so she's drawing. Do you know what she draws? She draws viruses. Do you know, like the little balls with all the things? The way a virus looks under a microscope, there's all signs up of those around Manchester. I don't even know what the fuck for, but there's all signs up around them of Manchester on like bus stops and stuff. And she draws viruses. And today she was telling us, I was asking her what she's drawn, and she's like, I drew a virus. What the fuck? Balls with Shrek ears. Yes, essentially balls with Shrek ears, yeah. What the fuck? Santa Notch says Blake's still young enough to get accustomed to having more kids around her over time. She's been fine, to be honest. She's just took to it like a duck to water. She's absolutely fine. I think we were more asked about what it was going to be like with her than her. Someone says, hope it's not a touchy subject. We don't hear much about Jaden. He's fucking turning 16 this year. He don't want me talking about him on here. So it's as simple as that. Thorman says, do I genuinely believe we can play top-level fluid football with Bruno in the team? I understand creative players lose the ball, but he seems to hate possession. If you go and look at how much De Bruyne gives the ball away, how much Messi gives the ball away, creative players lose the ball. I think it'd be easy with more runners off him. I think Bruno's a little bit emotional at times, but he's someone that tries something. Yeah. Tony says, vid's planned now season has ended. Yeah, I usually have a couple of weeks worth of videos planned. And then we try and react to or move around stuff to get in whatever the hell's happened. And it says, stir it up on the overlap. Please. What do you think I'm there for? Can we manage with that short fuse of Bruno? Of course you can. You can always manage a player with a short fuse, especially when they're good. Liam says, hard work getting a passport in today's world. People waiting for theirs since January. It's a fucking piss take. Is that true? Yeah, chances of going away in the next couple of months, probably fucking slim. Video collaboration with Notch over the summer. Well, yeah, he's going to be on the rundown. It's about as good as a collaboration it gets, isn't it? Any of the Paddock lads going to Bangkok? Yeah, Jay, Joe, and Adam. And not the Steve. All Talk TV says, do I think Garnacho will get much game time after pre-season or more likely to loan him out? I think it'll depend exactly how it goes. I think if it goes well for him, why would you keep him out of it? In my opinion, which position is in dire need of reinforcing? Midfield. Because a good midfield protects your defence and supports your attack. And if you fix midfield, your defence is better and your attack is better. And if you fix your attack, it don't fix your defence. But if you fix your midfield, it fixes your defence. So if you've got a world-class midfield, it will elevate everything else in your team. And we really don't have a world-class midfield. Tino says, if you do your passport driving license thing online, it will come back a lot quicker than posting it in. Yeah, I mean, it needs doing. It needs doing. But also, we haven't fucking looked or booked anywhere either, so got to beat them halfway, I suppose. What does Paddock's pre-season look like? Looks like fucking running is what it looks like. We have a game on 12th or 15th of June is our first one against Charlton, and that is at Bellevue Stadium. It should be, I hope, Beatties on the 23rd of July. That's not confirmed, but it should be. And then lots of other teams around our level. Oh, Duckingfield on the 16th of July. That one is booked in. But yeah, it should be loads. Mankey says, going out in Manchester with the missus on the 2nd, any chill bars you'd recommend? Nothing messy when the missus is around. Just stick to Northern Quarter and you'll be fine. What's my all-time United 11? I will refer to my granddad's answer and say you've got to do it generation by generation because we have been blessed at this club. Manny Hemanth Ravavapu says, is Rashford the new Dele Alli? No, he's had an objectively shite season, but he's also played with a broken back for us. And I don't know about you lot, but a player that plays with a broken back for me gets a bit of a pass. Any teams that would call Paddock's main rivals? I mean, yeah, the teams that we played in the league this year were definitely rivals. What's my 2020 all-time 11? What does that mean? Sigmund says, sounds silly, Steve, but do you think we'll see players wearing the club crest and suits again, get back to making it feel like we're off on travels rather than wear trackies? I'd love it too. Samuel says, who runs the Paddock Fan Channel Twitter account? Never seen to match the vibe of the opinions on the videos, right? Me, Adam, Jay and Joe are in a group chat, and that is pretty much what comes up nearly every day. Who the fuck's on Twitter today? I almost make it my business to not know. I don't have a fucking clue. I know it's not me, and that's about it. I'm not even logged into it. How about that? I am not even logged into it. FA Cup or Carabao Cup and Carabao Cup or top 4? Fuck. Listen, it's about winning trophies, in it, but progress is measured by league finishes. I think you got to finish highest in the league. We got to be back in the Champions League. You don't get that by the FA Cup, and that's a sad indictment because football's about winning trophies, but I think that's the crack. Dave says, interested to see the impact Ten Hag and the coaches having a few fucktards we keep from this current squad. It'd be interesting to see which ones they just go and get rid of. Alex says, thought Janine ran the commercial and branding for Stretford Paddock. She does for the football team, but not for the fan channel.
I don't know that one.
Why is Alexa piping up? No one asked you. Mankey, would there be any chance Paddock would play the team you had us drive in the middle of nowhere to? Black and green kit they had. Who was that? Would there be a chance Paddock would play the team you had us drive in the middle of nowhere to? I don't fucking know. I don't know who that is. Thorman says, anyone else sort of warming to the Europa League? Because I feel like we're a big fish in a small pond. I'm kind of feeling like we don't have a fucking choice but to warm to it. Hostad says, if I had to pick Alonso or Xavi for midfield, ooh. For this midfield, for United, probably Alonso, you know. Alonso was fucking... See, Alonso fucked it by playing alongside Gerrard, because you play alongside Gerrard and all everyone wants to do is fucking touch his cock, right? But Alonso was the better footballer. He had positional discipline. He had fucking a serious range of passing that Gerrard could only fucking dream of. Yo, Alonso's out here pinging it to people on a sixpence, while Steven Gerrard's out here kicking it in for fucking touch. They're not the same. But the media will have you believe they're the fucking same because of his absolute scouse loving. The same fucking media that has you believe that John Terry's a fucking credible centre-half in the Premier League, and he just fucking isn't. He's awful. And anyone got any German relatives? Go and find out what their thoughts are on what I think was the 2010 World Cup run. They targeted John Terry because it's like he's the fucking worst player in the England team. Let's just fucking lever him. Fuck me. Tino says, non-football related, but how about doing a 5 things we learned from the Depp versus Heard trial? Think it would be allegedly funny. Janine, do you want to do that? Because I haven't got a fucking clue what's happened. Should we do a Patreon? 5 things we learned about the Depp versus Heard trial? I'll let Janine take that one. Super chat there from Arman says, thanks to me and Paddock for the great videos throughout the season. Next time you're in Stockholm, hit me up. I'll buy you a pint and some rum. Well, I can't fucking say no to that. And Stockholm is a place that I do need to visit. Janine says, if you see a really bad second set that Joe and Jay are going to start filming on, it's nothing to do with me. I did not buy that sofa. Ooh, the sofa is a sore subject. But luckily it was fucking cheap. Notch says, I have a soft spot for the Europa League, maybe because I'm old and remember the European comps of the past. It's less predictable, and clubs like Videoton were exotic to me. That was it. Like, you would draw somewhere. I don't like now you get somewhere and you know where they are. It was like, wasn't it cool? Was it Real Madrid who drew Sheriff? And everyone went, who the fuck is Sheriff? I like that. And that's what European competition was, mate. And that's why I loved the Cup Winners' Cup, and that's why I loved fucking all sorts of stuff. I've just had a text off a mate here which says apparently the USA said they're going to defend Taiwan against China. We're all fucking doomed. That might be a fucking absolute madness. Shit. I'm going to have to put that hat back on. What's the plan for summer? Loads of videos, no fucking holiday, and probably fucking doing hill reps to get a bit more timber off, I imagine. David says, thank you about John Terry. I could never understand the fucking hype about that guy. Who's so shit. Ledley King was so much better. If he hadn't been injured all the time, he would have been Rio's defensive partner. Facts. I've ever visited Jamaica, and if where I haven't yet. And that's definitely a yet. I'm definitely going to visit Jamaica before I start pushing daisies up. Abhinav says, don't think we'll get Russian clubs and Ukrainian clubs this summer. Do we think? Are they going to get kicked out of the Champions League? Anthony Miller says, have a pint on me. Just a quick one. Slowly warming to being Europa League champions of the world again next year. Oh, yeah, we'll ham it up. Right? If we win it, it's obviously a bigger achievement than if Liverpool win the Champions League next week. Hostad says, pretty sure I'd get cancelled if I did NFTs and monkeys and what? Oh, and I'm a no one. It's just fuck off. Yeah, just John Terry can fuck all the way off. Jed says John Terry made last-ditch tackles because he was always out of position. Honestly, match of the day player. That's what he was. He would make blockbuster defensive tackles. You shouldn't notice your defenders. Like, Rio had a thing, didn't he, when Twitter was early doors, he had that thing, didn't he, hashtag always stay on your feet. And the reason he had always stay on your feet was because that's what it was all about, stay on your fucking feet. If you're defending like that, you're fucking doing it. Simple. Fucking simple. Is the Europa League turning to be the tournament with the most historical clubs? I don't know about that. If I were to be realistic, how long would I say a rebuild takes? Longer than 5 years. I would put it at, like, if you're not seeing stuff in 5 years, it's probably not worked and you probably need to have a rethink. Maldini said once, if I had to make a tackle, I've made a mistake. Yeah, he did make a lot of tackles, though, for someone who said that. If you go and watch like a montage of Maldini's tackles, also Notch, being an older gentleman, I think it's fair to say, how fucking frustrated do you get when people refer to Maldini as a centre-half? Because for me, Maldini is the quintessential left-back. All these fucking FIFA kids, that when they say, who's the greatest left-back of all time? And it's like, Roberto Carlos. No, it's fucking Maldini, and we're fighting if that's not the answer. Because it's Maldini. Why? Because it's Maldini. And that fucking stat about how they conceded like 5 goals or something in Serie A, it's just fucking false. It's something that Sport Bible tweet every year. It's just fucking wrong. Best left back is Irwin. Fightman, there's a couple of people saying that. I am going to go with Maldini, but Dennis Irwin's the best I've seen for United. And ever was the most fun. Seth says, I'm 23, but always get confused seeing people say he was a centre-back. He's always been a full-back to me. Right-footed left-back. Actually, I think he might have made his debut as a right-back. Quickly moves over to the left. Best left-back of all time. Non-footy related, but do I think the UFC will be dominated by Dagestani wrestlers with Coach Khabib? I can see them churning out champions for each weight class. Yeah, I imagine there'll probably be some sort of rule change on either stand-ups or movement and working on the ground. I think that's probably something that could happen. They'll do something to keep it entertaining, I think. BM with a super chat, thank you, says US fans or us fans should accept we showed short-termism cheering on superstar signers and said, well, it's not our money. Now we realise it's not the right way. I actually think it was very much Woodward. That was what it was. Woodward. I think that was what it was all about. Lizarazu's got some shout for the best left back. Seth says, I'm a big fan of a right-footed left back. He did play centre half a lot later in his career. He did. But this is like 20 years deep into his career. He was a left back. Burhan says Timber is similar in that way. Goes to ground way too often. Maybe. You can have one or two doing that. One of the two even doing that. Apparently even India and Japan are willing to defend Taiwan, says Devam. This is shaping up like World War III, innit? But do you know what? Don't worry about it, because if it goes off proper with that lot, we're all fucking dead. So just fucking have a rum, enjoy your fucking life, and just see what go on in. Philip Lam's a hell of a player. Notch says, yes about Maldini, same with Gentile. Both played fullback and centre-half, but practically the freedom of the pitch when he marked Maradona. That's different, isn't it? Trying to mark Maradona. Maradona at Napoli was a little bit ridiculous. And it's a shame that it wasn't during like a TV, social media kind of era, so we didn't really have a lot. David says, don't forget Jaap Stam was part of that prime Milan side. Yeah. Jesus. Jaap Stam, I think that's the benchmark for centre-halves in the Premier League. And anyone else can argue for below that. Yeah, and Sonny Waltman says Baresi kept Maldini out at centre-back, and Nesta, and early doors it would have been Costa Curta. Was it Costa Curta and Baresi early doors? Tino says, if WWE is going to start, or WWE 3, please just let the nuke drop just before Liverpool get to lift the Champions League on Saturday. Yeah, if Liverpool are like 2-3-0 up, just start sending some provocative tweets to China. Like, you ain't got the fucking minerals, shithouse. BM says with a super chat there, even if we level up and become the exact same level as City and Liverpool, it theoretically means we've only got a 33% chance of winning the league. This is true. Nigel Ray says Stam and Vidic together at United would have been scary. Scary, but not as good. I think Rio was the perfect foil for either of those two. Stam and Vidic were very, very aggressive. They're your stopper, and you do need someone that's going to go in and cover, especially if you do play higher lines. Now, Stam had some wheels on him. He was fucking rapid, and he could get back. But they're both liable to steam in and try and smash you. I would still want to have Rio for ball playing ability, organisational ability. Like, Anton has had this conversation with. I might have mentioned this on a podcast before, and he said he learnt more in 45 minutes playing in a testimonial alongside his brother than he did from anywhere else in his football career. He was like 20, 21, something like that. And he said, someone just put Ashley Cole best left back. Right, look, Ashley Cole was a very, very, very good Premier League left back, but he can't fuck with Maldini. I can't even believe I had to say that. Irish Oreo says, my boss called Rio overrated today. I had to walk away. The only way he can be overrated is if you said he was the greatest of all time. If you say he's just below the greatest of all time, that's exactly where he was. And he's a Premier League fucking all-time great. Probably one of the best I've seen. But you can't fuck with what Stam did. Came here for 3 years, won the title 3 times, back to back after winning the treble, and then fucked off and then went and did the same in Milan near enough. How the fuck did you come close to that? Oh my God. Yeah. Fucking hell. I can't remember what I was talking about now. I think we was talking about defending, I think. I can't remember. We was talking about how good Rio was. Rio was fucking unreal. Rio was so fucking good. Oh yeah, it was the way Anton said it. Hang on, I'll go back to Anton in a second. Read this from Simon. Mentioning no names, but someone on Twitch said John Terry remained consistent because he was clever, but Rio fell off in the last few years, therefore wasn't as good as Terry. What the fuck does that mean? I mean, John Terry never hit the heights Rio hit. And it just didn't. Like, you never targeted Rio as United's weakness. Ever. Even when he was, like, old and less useful. Oh. Yeah. I'd love to see what Rio and Stam could have done together. I think that would have been fucking unbelievable. But Stam was the one. Stam was the one. And the only one that comes close outside of all of those lot that I've seen, probably Vincent Kompany, but he couldn't stay fit. Or on the pitch. But I think you've got to have a player that plays on the edge like that. I think that's an asset more than a weakness. I want to play that does that. Anyway, Anton. So Anton says he learnt more playing with his brother in 45 minutes in a testimonial than of any other fucking coach or footballer ever. And he said, and I've tried to do this with the Paddock lads. And he said, Rio just sees everything on the pitch and he knows who needs to go where and who needs to do what. And he just kind of moves everyone around like chess pieces. And Rio said it himself a couple of times. Sometimes he would let someone run, knowing that he could make himself look good by fucking smashing them because he knew that he had the wheels to get there. But he would push people up to go and deal with a winger and tell them which side to defend on as well. And I think this is the key thing to it. And I found myself, when we're doing like possession boxes and stuff like that with people, I'm correcting some lads. One of the lads, for example, might say, mark him. And I'm asking more detail. Where do you want him to mark him? Go and tell him exactly how you want him marked. Do you want him marked tight? Do you want him arm's length? Do you want him right side, left side? Where do you want him? You can direct what that player does by what you direct your own teammate to do. And he said that, and Anton says that's what Rio was doing. So Rio said he would grab someone. Let's just use United examples. And let's say he goes, right, Fletch, mark him, right shoulder. And then he'd be like, Carrick, stay on the left side of this here. Or he might not even involve Fletch. Carrick. He's gone Fletch. Mark him, right side, right shoulder. So let's say it's Bergkamp, something like that, right? So Bergkamp's going to be checking his shoulder. He's a good player. He sees that he's got Fletcher on his right hand side. He might even put an arm out. He might have even felt him. And he goes, right, I've got Fletcher on my right hand side. When he now gets the ball and controls it, he's going to control and then come onto his left side. And he's going to roll with it this side. Knowing what someone's going to do before they do it means you can anticipate what they're going to do. And then that's where Rio can step in and collect that ball, smash that player, and then move the ball up the pitch after dispossessing the opposition. Because he's preempted what's going to happen. Now, if the player rolls right, Fletcher's there. But he's kind of put someone in position to know that in a 3-4 piece move, he's coming into his channel and into his lane. And he knows that before the player's getting the ball, knows that. And that's when you realise we don't even know what fucking level elite Premier League players are fucking with. Because let's say it is a Bergkamp or someone like that. You're dealing with the touch, you're dealing with the passes that are coming into him. Fuck me. And then for the level of detail to be spotting that in the middle of the game, communicate that to your teammates effectively enough. And the words he was using was like, Fletch, mark him, right shoulder. There's no fat in that. You can't take a single word out of that sentence. It's perfect. That player, mark him, right shoulder. You don't need to explain why. You don't need to explain, and then if he comes right, if he goes this way, like you don't need to say that. It's been sort of said without speaking. And that is fucking sensational. That's absolutely outrageously sensational, isn't it? That is elite defending. Now, I ask you this question. The current incumbent of the number 5 shirt and the captain's armband at Manchester United. Go and have a look. And you tell me, are they putting that much detail into what they want other players on the pitch to do? And how they fuck is the answer. Jürgen says, are we sure this team actually moves when given orders? I see Lindelof constantly talking and pointing when paired with Maguire, but he seems to grow roots sometimes. Interesting. Can't disagree with that, though. Tino says, don't bring the mood back down by mentioning that number 5. Sauce. Who would my dream centre-back partnership be among the current players? The current players at United? I don't really have got a dream centre partnership. It's more of a what can we make do with here, isn't it? Dave Jenkins says Kevin Moran was the bravest defender I've ever seen. Jacob says Rio loves the game and it showed. How hard to get current MUFC players to come on the channel? You can do it through sponsors. United are never going to allow a current player to come on the channel. But you can get time with sponsors. And I think last time I added it up, I think that we had something like 33 current and ex-players. And this was a while ago that I did it. That had been on Paddock / Full-Time Devils. So you can get it. You just have to... They all have like allocated time with different sponsors and this, that and the other. So that's how you're going to get them on. We got Jesse Lingard on just through knowing Jesse. It's doable. But, the club have issues with reality and truth sometimes. But maybe that'll change under a new CEO. We will see. Who knows? You never know who we can get on. Zachary Purvis with a super chat. Thank you, bro. Says, Steve, thanks for the advice on Paddock the other day. Bought Rene book and spent hours watching YouTube videos on different training tactics and how to implement my possession style. Get a pint on me. Oh, that's good to hear. It's a great book, Rene's. Like I said, you probably, now you've read it, you probably realize that the diagrams of the drills is not great. But you can do stuff with it. And it'll certainly give you ideas. And I think I mentioned it on that video. So the last 3 weeks we've been doing like a bit of a curriculum. I just wanted to test it out because it was slightly new of what we was doing. We were rolling back to that. We had a trial on Saturday. Added 30-something players to the team. We'll be rolling with that again this week. And pre-season starts for now for us. Yes, it's May. And I'm unapologetically about it. I can't wait to see what we do. I want to be ready by July. That's when my season starts. Alex says, by the way, was the woman who spoke to Ten Hag earlier, is that Rene's daughter? Yes, that's Peen. Peen's a friend of the show. She's been down in the studio after the show, friend of the channel. She's great, Peen. And she's doing bits for Sky Sports commentating now as well. She knows her football. She's grown up in a football family. She knows what she's talking about. And obviously she's working at MUTV. And, that's that, innit? Mark says, Rene Mullenstein, the best video ever. Me and Jay was talking about this the other day. Obviously, we got Rene to talk about the 1991 Cup Winners' Cup. We got Mike Phelan talking about the 1991 Cup Winners' Cup. We've had tons of people talk about, we had Henning Berg talk about the 1991 Cup Winners' Cup. Me and Jay was saying, if we got Fergie, just fucking dreaming, if we got Fergie, do you reckon he'd be up for saying it? Do you reckon he'd be up for saying it? And frame it just like, listen, Sir Alex, you did some stuff some people could only dream of in football. You brought us our wishes. You made United Kings of Europe and all that lot. Would you agree that the 1991 Cup Winners' Cup was the greatest achievement in the history of association football? Cut to Fergie going, without a doubt. Honestly, I'd just leave. I'd be like, right, completed YouTube now, I reckon. Let's just fuck off. Honestly, that is my fucking dream. My fucking dream. Oh, fuck me. That would have been fucking amazing, wouldn't it? Didn't Jay basically ask him that? Yeah, but he only had like 60 seconds with him. I think if you got him in for a podcast, something like that, you could word him up, and I think he'd go along with it. It was, he'd be fucking Johan Cruyff. Let's not fuck about. What's Real's reaction when I bring up 1991? Not interested. Where's Lingard going next season? I have no idea. Thriller says, I like my left backs to be left footed. Okay. Why though? Alex Baguli says, as you can see in a group chat, I can. It's unread though, as you can see. We've been looking at old comment clubs. Should we bring it back? We can only bring it back if the fucking Loki alcoholic comes back, because Callum will have a fucking aneurysm trying to edit them because he's got no sense of humour. You need someone who's got a laugh in them. Ethan says, if I could interview one player who hasn't played for United, who would it be? Batistuta, R9, Maldini, actually. A retired player? Yeah. United need to follow Milan's recruitment strategy. Do they ever? This chat stopped moving. Let's get in. R9 is a Call of Duty streamer. Is that a fact? Pinch Weasel says, Batistuta, fuck me, he could score any kind of goal. What a fucking player. And what a handsome man. Ian says Edmundo. I believe it's called Edgemundo, because he's genuinely batshit, but yeah, he's definitely batshit. Ranabir says, these thoughts on using VR in training to stimulate training scenarios. LVG plan to bring it in his third season. There's a couple of companies based in Manchester. Is it called? Fuck me, what is it called? They're based at the bottom of Deansgate. Vexil? Something like that. We actually spoke to them about coming down and doing something. I like the idea of using VR to sort of overwhelm the senses in something like that. It's a very individual player drill, but there's a lot of like legitimate uses where you can make it work for team stuff. And I actually know England were using VR to be able to look at stuff from like the goalkeeper's perspective, the centre half perspective, and show you what they're using it. So let's say like England you go, fucking hell, Pickford, you should have saved that. Well, using VR, they're like actually going into like Pickford's fucking eye view and going, oh shit, no, Maguire was in the way. That's fascinating. And then they're looking at what decisions did people make in certain circumstances based on what they could actually see at the time. That's a really interesting perspective for it. The VR that you probably see people doing where they're wearing a headset and then they're kicking at nothing, essentially. I don't know if that works because how are you adding the right backspin, the right weight to the passes and stuff? That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I don't know how that works. Jacob says bring back Sabutio. Joel says, happy finishing outside the top 6 for a season if it means getting rid of like 15 players. I like my left backs to take care of their diet, says Abhinav. Ooh. Which of the players leaving this summer would you most like to sign for Paddock and why? One Matter, because he's fucking lovely. Although, I haven't really got a spot for a 10 in my team. My wish list for Paddock this summer was like a 32-year-old 6'3" centre-half that's played 300 non-league games. And a number 8 or a number 6 that can just fucking dictate play. And we're pretty good apart from that. We've not really lost anybody. Or we haven't lost anybody that I'm aware of at least anyway. So we just got to add to the squad. Anthony Jarvis says, I like my left backs to not be Ashley Young. I also like that. Have I ever been to South Africa, Steve? I've not, but the wife has. She's got family there. De Gea to be captain next year, says Viking. It'd be him or Ronaldo, I get the impression. I think they're going to strip. What's it? I was told Gibbo playing non-league now. He was at Salford, wasn't it? But then I think it went tits up for him, so it wouldn't surprise me. Ian says, does your dog do what mine does? Lies on the settee with you, then farts and immediately jumps off. Yeah, he gets embarrassed and runs away if he farts. Or I think he thinks you farted and thinks you're disgusting, even though it was him. But he gets embarrassed if he farts. Tell me a left back that's done a Cruyff turn in the new camp. Well, he did a Cruyff turn, but did he complete the Cruyff turn? Now that is the question. Is Nosa back playing for Paddock? Yes, he is. Nosa's the one fucking player. It's funny actually. I was chatting about Nosa yesterday to a coach several leagues higher. Nosa would be playing a lot higher up if it wasn't for the fact that he doesn't fucking drive. If he could drive, he would have clubs queuing up for him. He'd be getting paid. He's absolutely sensational. And I'm literally changing my formation to go 4-2-3-1 to bring Nosa in that number 10 position because he's a fucking little magician. And I think the way we've started playing in the last season as a pressing team, Nosa fits that fantastically. He will rotate in where our number 9 comes in to hold the ball up. He'll drop into that. It'll be difficult to pick up. He'll allow us to overload centre halves. His shooting's not the best. Well, there's a reason he's playing down at our level rather than Premier League, isn't they? Obviously, his shooting's probably the worst aspect of his game. But he'll score goals. He'll still score goals. He'll just create a lot more goals. Some of the vision on him is fucking just ridiculous. What question would I have asked Ten Hag if I was at a conference? Oh, that's a good one. What would I have asked Ten Hag? I'd have asked him, how long does he envisage the system taking to implement? And what is the major challenge to implementing that system? Is it, as someone's mentioned earlier, is it a personnel thing or is it a curriculum thing? Is there that much in the curriculum that it's going to take 8 months? Or is it, if the personnel are switched on and willing to learn, we could be there in 3 months? I think I'd have asked him something along those lines. Apparently someone asked him that. Well, fuck me. Have they actually let people with brains in there? And apparently said it's a project and nodded. Right, great. Um, does it matter when City have signed Haaland and Alvarez plus whoever else in the grand scheme of things? Yes, because you know why? Once upon a time, Manchester United signed Veron and Ruud van Nistelrooy, and it didn't necessarily do anything. Sometimes you can upset the apple cart. Sile says, in the Ten Hag system, do I think Donny will play the Burgess role or the Gravenberch role? I don't know. I think he'll be given an opportunity to play, but I still think we'll want a lot of reinforcements, and I don't think he's guaranteed to start every game. I think he'll probably get given more of a chance just because there's a prior relationship and he should know what he wants from him. But yeah, I don't think he'll be guaranteed to be 40 games next year. Aney says still seems to be in analysis mode after yesterday. He's probably still sitting there thinking, these fucking clowns. I mean, what a bad performance. It was shit, wasn't it? It was genuinely shit. Genuinely shit. Ten Hag would be naive to think finishing second the year before has anything to do with our squad potential. I think he was just trying to be... I don't know. Watched Ajax and their lad in midfield called Taylor looks decent. Mohammed says, Steve, would you potentially buy Timber to play right back and sign another ball playing centre back alongside Varane? No, I'd sign. It depends, doesn't it? Because if you've got a right back in mind, no, you sign Timber and you play him at centre half. I think you could do bits with Varane and Timber, and I'd put Mengi in the mix as well for next season. I have no idea if he's going out on loan or out next year. Which player who's leaving do I think is the easiest to actually sell? The thing is, they're all like end of contract leaving, aren't they? There's not really many sells. A rival player that I wish had played for United, R9. All day long. R9. R9, and can we research stem cells? Yeah, R9. Thorman says, Timber at centre-back with the same story every game. Will he be bullied in the air? By who? Burnley are now in the fucking championship. Almost every other team in the league plays possession-based football, mostly on the floor. Who's bullying him in the air? Now, yes, set pieces are a thing. But, like, it's not like he's not played up and down the Champions League this season, is it? You know what I mean? Tom E says, I wish Del Piero had played for us. What a player. Van Basten, player. Right, do you know what? I just realised what time it is. I didn't realise I've been going so long. Hang on. When did I ask that? Adam says, ask the audience if they want Comment Club back. Righty, I'm going to wrap it up, but cheers everyone for tuning in tonight. I have no idea what we're putting out tomorrow, but I guess we will find out. Enjoy the rest of your night, whatever's left of it, unless you're over stateside, and then enjoy the rest of your fucking day. And we'll catch you all in the fucking next one. And I can't find the program that shuts this off, but I found it. Right, take it easy. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.